Welcome to the Little League Softball World Series on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Greenville, North Carolina is the site, and we're getting to see two of the three remaining undefeated teams, Puerto Rico and New York. One team, the winner, moving on to Saturday. The loser will play in an elimination game tomorrow. Excited to be back at the ballpark with you, Courtney Lau, alongside two-time All-American Amanda Scarborough and two-time Olympic gold medalist Michelle Smith. Chris Button is also with us. It's kind of funny how this bracket works because some teams have played 4 games. This New York team has only played 1 game, so we're going to see really how good they are.
Well, they're really good because they have an outstanding catcher in Sienna Urker. She has been outstanding. In fact, in regional, she had 5 extra base hits. She can absolutely swing it. She played baseball last year, decided she wanted to play softball this year, and it's an obvious reason why. She can hit the ball on the outside half. Lots of power. Love the way she really is a leader for this New York team.
So New York is going to face Puerto Rico, who has done a complete 180 from last year at the World Series.
Yeah, and they went 0-2 last year. They turned that around to be 2-0 coming into this game today. And usually Michelle and I are both talking about pitchers, but today we're both talking about catchers because New York has a great backstop back behind the plate in Sienna Urker. And then Puerto Rico has Dilianis Nieves. She has thrown out 4 base runners. She has such a good arm, probably the best arm at the Little League Softball World Series. She does it with her bat as well. She has 2 hits and 3 RBI. People are not running against her. She is so good.
Look, you're still talking about the battery, so okay, I see how it is. It's Puerto Rico, it's New York, 2 undefeated teams set to play when you come back. We are set for one more game today here at the Little League Softball World Series, Puerto Rico and New York. And Chris, there's been one international team to win the Little League Softball World Series, and it was Puerto Rico.
They are, and all the fans standing behind me are hoping to see another one. Their manager, Carlos Sugrañez, was the manager on that 2001 team that won it all. That was back when it was played at Portland at Alpenrose Stadium. Sugrañez told me before the game, hey, when it moved to Greenville, that's when I decided I wanted to come coach one more time so that I can say I've been to both. He said, win or lose, this will be my last time coaching the Little League. He also helps manage the national team, but he said this has just been a dream to be able to do it at both places, and there are a lot of fans that have come out to cheer them on.
This footage looks like it was from 1985, but it was actually 2001, Puerto Rico and Carlos Sugrañez winning that title. What a cool connection. Let's meet the girls representing Latin America from Puerto Rico.
My name is Yadiri Rosado, and my favorite food is French fries. My name is Joaris Vega, and my favorite baseball team is the New York Mets.
My name is Nangelis Martinez, and my favorite softball pitcher is Megan Faraimo.
Mi nombre es Kanishka Rodríguez, y mi comida favorita es arroz blanco con habichuela y bistec.
Mi nombre es Adri Figueroa, mi hobby favorito es jugar softball.
My name is Dilianis Nieves, and my favorite food is lasagna.
Mi nombre es Yerianis Montes, y mi equipo favorito de softball es Oklahoma.
My name is Brianna Sanchez, and my favorite food is pizza.
Mi nombre es Yainari Santana, y mi pasatiempo favorito es montar caballos.
Mi nombre es Darío Rodríguez, y mi jugador favorito es Javier Baez.
Mi nombre es Nia Rivera, y mi hobby favorito es dormir.
Mi nombre es Carla Rodríguez, y mi color favorito es violeta.
Mi nombre es Onairi Villafañe, y mi jugador favorito es Francisco Lindor.
That is Guamaya, Puerto Rico, Guamaya Softball Little League, and they will be facing Alexis Fontana in the circle for New York.
Yeah, Alexis Fontana can throw a really good fastball changeup. Screwball's her favorite pitch, and Rich Eaton said she's the reason. Alexis Fontana is the reason I'm back coaching. I love that story. Very connected with her, considers her almost his third daughter. And she's strong in the circle for this New York team.
Yeah, how cool. Rich Eaton, of course, the manager for this Massapequa Park, New York team. Kanishka Rodriguez, the shortstop, will lead off for Puerto Rico. Her favorite team, the Boston Celtics. It has been really fun to watch this Puerto Rico team. I feel like they're a scrappy group, and we've seen them in some pretty intense battles.
Yeah, we have. This is a team that their head coach, manager Carlos Leon Sugrañez, says that They're a team that just battles their fight. He told us coming into the World Series, this is a direct quote, "My team is ready for the big moments. My team is ready to fight." Fought to a 2-0 record so far here.
Well, we saw it on day one against Canada. They had a big lead, and then Canada made this late push. Scored a bunch of runs to try to catch up, and Puerto Rico was able to shut the door and go ahead and get the win.
I love that video we showed in the Open. Coach was a dog piling with the team.
Yeah. Rodriguez to right, just over the head of Emerson Moore, and Kanishka Rodriguez starting off with 2.
Respect the power of these Puerto Rico bats. Emerson Moore, the right fielder, was playing pretty shallow. That pitch was left more up in the zone. Easy to get her barrel behind, and went well behind Emerson Moore over her head. Puerto Rico with a little power in their bats, more so known for their defense, but I feel like their offense has been showing up at the World Series.
Their second double of the World Series.
Big hit with 2 strikes.
Dalreliz Rodriguez playing at second today. She's at the plate. Puerto Rico also will move on the base paths. They're 6 for 8 when it comes to stolen bases at the World Series. Dalreliz's favorite athlete is Steph Curry. So we got some basketball fans at the top of this lineup for Puerto Rico. You know, it had been a while since Puerto Rico had played before the World Series. They beat Mexico 3-2 to advance to here in Greenville, North Carolina on June 19th. That ball rolls foul.
Yeah, so a little bit of time off before making it here. So I'm curious if some teams like the little bit of time off to kind of reset. Other teams like to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, well, they came out with a bang, so they were ready to go. Their second straight appearance by the same little league that's representing Puerto Rico. Rodriguez to shallow center. Jocelyn Vandenberg all over it. Little League is using a continuous batting order this year, which means it is 1 through everyone on your roster. So we've seen 2 players come to the plate. Here's how Puerto Rico's lineup looks. De Leones Nieves, the catcher, coming up. And she has impressed everybody. It's been so fun to watch her behind the plate, up at the plate, hitting.
Well, you can tell she's a player that just has a lot of fun playing. She's really loose. She's the one that when her name is called in pregame intros, she's having fun, keeping her team loose and herself loose. She's just a very good athlete. And that arm, my goodness, first time I saw her throw, I was like, okay, let's go.
She's the only one with the S by her name, too. She's a switch hitter, going back and forth. 3 lefties, 7, 8, and 9, hitting left-handed. But Rodriguez, she's got the...
She's got the swagger for sure, because the sunglasses to go along with the warm-up intros and the energy behind the plate, I think it just completes the whole persona of De Leones Nieves.
Well, Carlos told us that she's a leader on the field. This is her second time here. Called her, his word, amazing. This is the one with a lot of personality. This is her, number 9, right there in the middle. This is so fun. You can tell she's a leader, the leader on this team.
Swing and a miss, and that's the first strikeout for Alexis Fontana.
Alexis Fontana just working the corners, pitch on the outer half. Just gets nice to swing through that pitch. See the rotation on the ball. Really good location.
Yadilis Figueroa. First pitch strike coming to her from Alexis Fontana. Kanishka Rodriguez led off this inning with a double, immediately into scoring position. But now 2 outs as Puerto Rico tries to score first. Upstairs runner going. She's safe as the throw pulls Cassie Van Skyler off the bag. And Kanishka Rodriguez is still down. So she is able to stand up. That's good. That's Kanishka's mom. Happy to see that.
Yeah, Rodriguez got a good jump and just goes in hard. Actually, her foot looked like it got caught in the dirt, and that kind of caused her entire bottom half to go more toward the side, and that throw pulled Van Skyler off the line. That tag was really close to getting to her because of how awkwardly she went in, and her left arm grabbed the, or her left hand grabbed the bag.
So she's good at third. 1 and 2 to Figueroa. That looks like a good pitch.
Good screwball. Yeah, just throwing that screwball on both sides of the plate.
Full count now for Alexis Fontana. So yeah, Dialis Figueroa. Up the middle for Figueroa, an RBI! Bring the run home, and Puerto Rico scores first.
Figueroa gonna take a pitch on the outer half. Fontana having to bring this pitch into the zone. Base hit right back up the middle, and immediately Puerto Rico getting on the board. 13 and 2 when scoring first here at this Little League Softball World Series.
It's deemed to be it's pretty important apparently to score first here. We saw Texas do it earlier today. They're the defending champs. They got the win 4-1 over the host North Carolina team. So Texas is on to Saturday. We'll see that host North Carolina team tomorrow. Carla Rodriguez now with 2 outs.
I think both pitchers are going to have to figure out this strike zone. There have been a couple of close pitches for Alexis Fontana in this inning that she's not gotten called for a strike. And because of that, in that full count, she had to challenge Figueroa and had to come more on the plate. That's why Figueroa was able to barrel up that pitch right back up the middle of the field.
Rodriguez calling for time. There goes the runner. Figueroa at a second. Safe. Second stolen base in this inning for Puerto Rico.
Being aggressive, that's what manager Carlos talked about, how his team plays aggressive on all sides of the ball.
3 balls and a strike. Rodriguez likes the 3-1. It's going to roll to the wall. Here comes Figueroa, 2-0 Puerto Rico.
This is another pitch that Alexis Fontana has to come more on the plate. She needs a strike, knows that she has to challenge this hitter with a tighter strike zone, and Rodriguez likes that pitch. She is aggressively swinging at it and lets that pitch get deep into her window, and that went a long way. A beautiful swing and an RBI for Carla Rodriguez.
So New York huddling up here around Alexis Fontana. This is a New York team that has 2 aces. They use Alexis Fontana, but they also have Olivia Feldman. Both could start games, and they've switched off numerous times during this run to the World Series.
They both play shortstop and pitch, so they just alternate. It's convenient.
Just a quick huddle up there on the team. No visit to the circle. Onairis Villafanier.
And you have to believe here, Alexis Fontana, that you can get out of this and you can figure out this strike zone. Important in these moments, especially early in this game. Easy to get frustrated, as I think that Villafañe fouled that one off of her foot. It's easy to get frustrated, Michelle, when you're a little bit frustrated with the umpire, think that you're making good pitches, have to come around the plate, and then the hitter hits it. Like, it's so easy to get frustrated, but you take that deep breath and know that you're strong enough to figure this out.
It's always that first inning trying to understand all those different strike zones that you have as a pitcher, with the hitter's strike zone, and then, of course, the umpires.
So Carlos Leon Sugrañez, the manager of Puerto Rico, talking to Onairis Villafañe and then also Carla Rodriguez, who's at second. 0-2 here. Strikeout number 2 as Alexis Fontana working in there, trying to figure out the strike zone, moving forward.
Puerto Rico puts runs on the board first here in the top of the first inning. Carlos, the manager, said, my team is ready for the big moments. My team is ready to fight.
Puerto Rico with an early lead over New York. This Mid-Atlantic team is represented by Massapequa Park, New York. Let's meet the girls from New York.
My name is Kylie Longaro, and I play softball and all-star cheer.
My name is Emerson Moore, and my favorite baseball team is the New York Yankees.
My name is Ava Rios, and my favorite food is sushi. My name is Eden Tesserae, and I would like a pet tortoise.
My name is Mia Victor, and my favorite food are pickles.
My name is Olivia Feldman, and my favorite softball player is Jenny Finch.
My name is Alexis Fontana, and my favorite food is pasta.
My name is Abby Long, and I want to be a personal injury lawyer when I grow up.
My name is Cassie Van Skyler. I want to be a criminal psychologist when I grow up.
My name is Sienna Erker, and my favorite color is blue.
My name is Jocelyn Vandenberg. My favorite drink is Dr. Pepper.
My name is Emma Brown, and my favorite baseball team is the New York Mets.
Mid-Atlantic, it is the New York team, Massapequa. And it'll be Brianna Sanchez in the circle for Puerto Rico, facing this New York lineup.
And Brianna Sanchez is said to be brave and talented, very mentally strong in the circle, throw a fastball, a little curveball, mix in a changeup, and might see a rise or two in there. More of a pitch-to-contact type pitcher, going to rely on her defense back behind her to make plays.
Alexis Fontana, the pitcher, will lead off.
Adjustment right away by Sanchez. That first pitch was a little bit up. This umpire early in this game has not been giving the top of the strike zone, really. So the next pitch, she brings it down at the knees, gets a called strike, trying to figure this out pitch by pitch.
This New York team, they played their regional in Bristol, Connecticut, and they beat Pennsylvania 7-0 to advance to the World Series. They actually scored 6 runs in the first inning. Went 4-0 in that regional.
Can you guys believe that Alexis Fontana almost wouldn't be here? Because at one point she thought she was going to give up playing softball.
All right. This is a great story.
Yes. Great story.
And then the manager, Rich Eaton, convinced her she was 8 years old. And he said, look, come on. Come on and play. And she was like, oh, all right. I guess I will continue to play. We heard her parents were thrilled. And it's worked out well.
Yeah, he thought she was really good at this. He saw something in her and encouraged her to continue to keep playing. And because someone saw something in her, she was like, okay, yeah, I will keep playing. And now here she is playing at the World Series.
Love it. Starting pitcher, leadoff hitter.
Also a shortstop.
Yep.
And drawing the walk to start off for New York. So she leads off. Here's New York's batting order. They bat 1 through 12. Olivia Feldman, who is the other shortstop and the other pitcher, will bat behind her. Feldman 1 for 2 in their first game. Their only other game on Monday against Connecticut had an RBI and a triple. First pitch strike from Brianna Sanchez.
You can tell, Michelle, early in this game that New York is going to be really patient. It looks to me like the coaches had a conversation with the team about, look, this umpire strike zone is not very big. Make this pitcher throw strikes. Maybe even let's take a strike until we swing.
Yeah, work the pitches deep if you can.
This one goes back to Sanchez. She'll immediately go to second. It hops, and the runner is safe.
Well, this Connecticut team did a great job of capitalizing on 7 errors against Connecticut in game 1, and you can tell they're going to be aggressive. Puerto Rico trying to get the lead runner, so Sanchez throwing to Rodriguez was a little bit late on the play. Good job by Fontana to make sure she makes it into second.
And they're going to review this play at second. The runner was safe. It was ruled a single for Olivia Feldman.
I think the toughest part about this is the way that Rodriguez caught the hop at second base. Good hands by her to even pick this out of the dirt right here. It's like, when exactly does she have possession of it? I don't know if I think this one's going to get overturned. I think this one might stand as called.
Yeah.
And again, video replay, that's being done in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, so nobody here in Greenville has to make the decision. Think the call is going to be confirmed?
I think it will be confirmed, yep.
The original call was safe.
See the helmet?
There's that screaming kid.
Seriously, don't worry about it. I think you pitched excellent in the first inning. I don't care. That's why I didn't come out. If I don't come out after 2 runs score, you know that I think you're doing fine. The girls just had a couple of good pitches.
That was my worst inning ever.
Remember to look you in the eyes and say, oh, you're right. You didn't have a good inning, but it happens. It happens to everybody, right? We don't worry about that. I never expect you guys to be perfect. You know that. Let's go.
That's horrible. God awful.
I don't know, God awful.
I winced at it.
Yeah. Like, when you weren't perfect. We're having that speech right here for you. Nobody's perfect. Hey, go get out there. Come on, let's go.
So the call is confirmed, and you heard Rich Eaton talking to his battery. He's talking to Sienna Urker and Alexis Fontana. So it's 2 on, nobody out for Sienna Urker. Sienna Urker, the catcher. She's tall, 5'9".
She can swing it.
Yeah, tore it up in the regional round. How about going to the regionals and hitting 600 with 3 doubles and 2 triples?
Yeah, not too bad. And her favorite baseball player, Babe Ruth. Well, she's nostalgic as well.
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta love that.
Well hit ball to center. Scooped up by Yadilis Rosado. Runners hold.
That was such a good swing by Sienna Urker, but Puerto Rico's outfielders were playing so deep. We've seen outfielders try to figure out where to position themselves. Some of them play really deep and then come in. Some of them play really shallow, and then at times the balls have been hit deep behind them. Well-positioned outfield for Puerto Rico to get a really good swing by Sienna Urker out.
First baseman Abby Long. De Leonis Nieves coming out from behind the plate, just daring those runners to try to advance. Abby is a Mets fan. She's also a fan of pickles and likes to watch hockey. To shallow right, just hits the grass. Runner coming around, going to have to slide in, and the tag applied by Nieves, looking for two, won't get it. Runner is safe at third, but Nieves makes the tag at home.
This Puerto Rico team doing a really good job with this relay coming in. Santana to Nieves. Look at the way she's going to be out in front, gets that foot down, tag applied, gets the out at home. Take a look at this, really good positioning. Nice tag applied, and then heads up knowing there's a secondary play. Does not get the trail runner, but really good presence of mind.
Kylie Langero, ball gets away from Nieves, and New York will get its first run.
Nieves usually just a wall back behind the plate. She sets up on the outside corner, and that pitch just trailed back over the middle of the plate in the dirt. And a good read by Feldman to score on that immediately when she sees it get down. She's off and running.
So New York's run coming on the wild pitch.
What a great play at home, by the way. You know what it's like, Michelle, to be out on defense, and there's runners running. There's a lot of movement out on defense, different positioning. That ball just fell to keep it in front, to get the ball into the infield. And make that play at home was really nice defensive play, and, of course, a great tag by Nieves. Wow.
Good job by New York here in the bottom of this first inning after Puerto Rico put a 2-spot up in the top. Taking advantage where they can. A couple of big base hits.
No panic in this New York team. Ball three. Kylie Langero gonna make Brianna Sanchez throw anything close. There's that strike.
Yeah, this is setting up on that outside corner, but everything that Sanchez is throwing is headed back over more toward the middle of the plate. Trying to find that right timing right now. Sanchez is connect everything up with her lower and upper body.
Kylie Langero scooped up. Jurianis Montez. New York gets one across, but they leave one stranded.
How about Puerto Rico with their defense coming in, making the catch? Santana does a great job in right field. A couple of big plays to get out of it.
The Little League Softball World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And in part by Geico. See how easy it is to bundle all your insurance needs. Yesterday was so cool for the little leaguers, for the big leaguers. Athletes Unlimited was here. They played 2 games over at East Carolina's softball field, and all the teams got the chance to go over there and watch professional softball. It was an absolutely great day, and today's been a good one, too. The winner's bracket portion of these games. So nobody's being eliminated today. There are 6 teams remaining. We started the week with 12. Jaineli Santana will lead off here in the second for Puerto Rico. Alexis Fontana back in the circle, pop up. Cassie Van Skyler trying to get there, and our camera was in the way. Sorry, guys.
There's a lot going on there. You got the camera well and the umpire also running over there.
There's always a lot of traffic when you're heading towards
the lines.
The lines,
yeah.
Heading toward the fences.
Strike 3. It's back-to-back strikeouts for Alexis Fontana. And here comes Jerianice Montez up, who just crushed it on defense.
Yeah, she had a big inning out in right field. There was a hit that fell in front of her, and she was able to make this perfect throw home. Didn't panic, gathered the ball, and got it to her cutoff to then be able to make the play at home. And then she made that diving catch, too, in the air. So didn't panic at all whatsoever when the ball came out to her. Got the ball into the infield and made the play.
Jump one on that first pitch. Our favorite athlete, Francisco Lindor. They appeal it down the third base side. They say she did not go. Alexis Fontana just trying to stay composed, and she's done a good job of that, figuring out this strike zone. She's gotten 3 Ks today so far. Oh, bounces off the bag. Fair ball. And the ball is tossed by Nia Victor, but Abigail Long was pulled off the bag. Runner is going to hold at first.
This ball goes off the bag, and then it looks like it jumps up and hits Abigail on the face. But how about being a tough cookie? Goes off of her, and she still goes to get the ball when it goes into foul territory.
Yeah, look. That's softball laughing at you. That's what everybody wants to watch. Right? She's good.
Softball ever laugh at you guys?
Yeah, a lot.
Have a couple of C marks
yeah.
various places to show for it.
I don't think anybody is immune to softball laughing at you.
So it's a single for Jerianice Montez and Brianna Sanchez, the pitcher, up now. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Alexis Fontana. Strike 2.
Drops the speed down a little bit to 48 miles an hour. Takes a little off that. I think that's going to be an important pitch for Fontana. There's that screwball and fastball, but we've seen mixing speeds makes a big difference at this level.
3 swings and another strikeout for Alexis. Let's check in with Chris.
Courtney, the Puerto Rico fans have come from all over, even some that don't even have any relationship. This is Lil. She's in her 80s. She came all the way from Louisiana, flew in, doesn't know any of these girls, but she was born in Puerto Rico and just wanted to support her fans. And this is Louise. She's there too. She's trying to give these girls a little bit of love.
How cool. It truly is a World Series. People coming from all over. Our score right now, they're going to love it, cheering on for Puerto Rico. Getting some Kona ice. Welcome back to the Little League Softball World Series on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. You can find Little League on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the official handles at Little League. And don't forget to use hashtag LLWS.
I really think about that when I go to post, to use the hashtag LLWS when I make a post.
I need to be better about it, I'm going to be honest. But there's been some really great plays to tweet about and to retweet. And I've seen some plays we've had on SportsCenter Top 10. A couple of catches. Emma Brown will lead off for New York. New York scored its run on a wild pitch in the bottom of the first inning. Winner of this game will go to the semifinals Saturday at 2 Eastern on ESPN. The loser will play an elimination game tomorrow against Connecticut. That'll be at 7 Eastern on ESPN 2. DeLeonis Nieves going out.
Trying to get on the same page with Brianna Sanchez out there. Looks like about the pitch calling.
Oh, 2. To the hole. Right through the 5-6 hole. Leadoff reaches again for New York.
Well, I love Emma Brown, man. She says, hey, my job is to hit. It is all about hitting. She's a backup outfielder, and she just loves to swing it. This is a pitch above her head, and she goes up and gets it, swats it down, gets it through that 5-6 hole for a leadoff base hit for New York. Excellent job by Emma Brown.
It's her first hit of the World Series, and it brings us to Cassie Van Skyler. Her favorite sport to play, guys, is actually soccer. But I'm going to go with that she likes softball, too, because, I mean, here we are playing softball at the World Series. But maybe we'll change her mind. How much did Rich Eaton brag about Cassie Van Skyler playing at third base?
He said that she won the job, and she has been absolutely amazing this summer. And felt like she's gotten like 10 times the amount of balls hit to her this summer than everyone else. So not only has she won the job, she has stepped up and made plays when her team has needed her the most.
And she's one of the ones that doesn't play travel ball. She just plays Little League.
That's one of the best parts of Little League softball. It's community-based softball, and you're playing with your neighbors, people that live in the same community.
You see Sanchez in a bunt situation trying to work her pitches more up in the zone. She does have a rise ball that she'll throw in there, but bunt situation, oftentimes a pitcher will try to go more up in the zone so that you try to get that hitter to pop up a bunt and make for an easier out and not allow them to advance the runner.
Two, the tying run at first. Nieves, good job blocking that.
It's meaningful to win this game, too, because if you win this game, you get tomorrow off, and you don't play again until Saturday. And if you lose, then you go to the elimination bracket, and then every game just feels like it has more pressure.
It's kind of crazy how the bracket shakes out. This New York team can win 2 games and go right to the semifinals on Saturday.
Yeah.
I've seen some teams that have played 4 games already.
And the loser plays Connecticut. Now, New York beat Connecticut.
It was wild, Michelle.
It was wild. There were 7 errors by Connecticut. Connecticut can swing it, too.
Yes.
So that whoever loses this game will have their hands full. Let's put it that way.
Popped up high in the infield. Kanishka Rodriguez calling everybody off, and that's the first out. Next up is Eden Tesserere. She told us she was pretty honest. She said, I'm usually the loudest on my team. Also a fan of chicken noodle soup. Are we going chicken noodle or are we going tomato?
I'd probably go chicken noodle.
Yeah.
What about you?
Now that I'm older, definitely chicken noodle.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going tomato every time.
Yeah. Well, if the tomato has a grilled cheese with it, then I will pick the tomato.
Okay, way to level up,
There you
Michelle.
go.
That's very true. Oh, our producer is going lobster bisque. That was not a choice.
He's fancy.
That was not an option. What's Chris going when it comes to soup? Tomato or chicken noodle?
Chicken tortilla.
Oh, that also was not an option.
Oh, my goodness.
Does the tomato bisque come with the grilled cheese? That's the deciding factor here.
You're with Michelle, That's what she wants.
Exactly. Although chicken noodle with some cilantro, I don't know.
This is really fancy. Tesserere. Sanchez runs on it.
Good execution here by New York and Tesserere being able to lay down this bunt down the first baseline. But what you're going to see is that, it will be out of the picture here, but third base was completely open. Would have loved to have seen Brown keep her head up, pick up her coach. Notice at third base, had no defender on it. She would have been able to go first to third easily on that bunt.
Ava Rios now. New York is 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position today. Tying run at second. I think they know Ava.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Sanchez doing a good job of working that outer half of the plate.
One now to Ava Rios.
Seems like every time that we read on the questionnaire or talked to the coach about these players from New York, it's like this person got the game-winning hit in the state championship game. This person scored the run. This person made the defensive play to save the game. Like every single person in this New York lineup has contributed to their run to get here. It's been a complete team effort.
Ava Rios picked up and grabbed by Jeriones Montez. She's been busy out there in right field, and New York is going to leave a runner in scoring position.
Pineapple on pizza is definitely out. Yes, broccoli is safe. Macaroni and cheese safe.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift out. Bad Bunny safe.
Nanjalise Martinez is going to lead off, and man, Bad Bunny over Taylor Swift. Okay. I like both, so. Did you guys know, too, Nanjalise, she is a fashion model, participated in some modeling at her school. People saw her, and they just kept asking her to do some more modeling, so she's going to go to New York Fashion Week in September. How cool is that?
That's very cool.
But first, she's going to lead off this inning.
And she's even going to get to walk the runway.
I know, how cool. Here's Angelisa's mom. Puerto Rico scored both of their runs in the top of the first inning. Here comes the first strike in from Alexis Fontana. She struck out 4 batters today. Oh, jammed up, just came off her bat a little bit funny, and Alexis Fontana is going to be able to clean that up over to Abby Long.
I think the umpire might want to take a look at this ball because this was hit off the very end of her bat. She was so far out in front of it, and oftentimes the umpire likes to make sure that the ball didn't get scratched and just messed up, but we're just going to continue on. But that was off the very, very, very end. You don't see that too often.
Those are hard to defend, too, because there's so much English or spin on the ball.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, is it going to hop? Like one of those funny toys that you work
like
on
crazy.
Work on your defensive skills.
Alexis Fontana quickly ahead 0-2 on Nia Rivera.
Fontana works very fast. She gets the ball, immediately goes back to the circle, gets on the pitching plate.
Three swings, 3 strikes. Strikeout number 5 for Alexis. Well, the Little League Baseball Regional Championships are happening all day Friday on ESPN. We start with the Midwest at 1 Eastern. We take you all the way into the night to the West at 9 p.m. Eastern. Remember, these regionals are what sends teams to the Little League Baseball World Series. Hey, important to note, too, go ahead and mark on your calendars. Sunday at 3 Eastern, we will have the championship game of the Little League Softball World Series on ABC for the very first time.
So awesome.
We are so excited, and this event just keeps growing and growing. Yoharis Vega at the bottom of the lineup.
We have a lot of softball to be played before that, too. We have 2 games tomorrow, 2 games Saturday, and then actually even a game before the championship game on ABC. So we have quite a few games left. Lots of action to catch this weekend.
Yeah, they'll all be on either ESPN, ESPN2, or, of course, ABC, our championship game. So you can see these young ladies play softball on the big stage.
Every year this event just gets bigger and better. More linear windows, that ABC game.
This year was the first year we saw regionals, right? Had a rap show.
Yes. And 2, the first pro game with Athletes Unlimited play here last night, a doubleheader over at the field at ECU, East Carolina University.
Yeah, that was after on Tuesday when all the professional players were in the stands here at this field watching the Little Leaguers. Back to back. Get it, Alexis.
Alexis Fontana has been outstanding in this game through 3 innings, 6 strikeouts. Look at her work in the corners, work in the plate. Fontana, fantastic.
Well, Joe Fackler is one of the assistant coaches on this New York team, and he wants to make sure that his girls are ready for every game, so he makes them a hype video. Look, we watched that this morning in our production meeting, Chris, and I was ready. It is game day.
We love it. The players love it. His daughter said, please don't air that. I'm trying to tell him this is so embarrassing, Dad. So please, whatever you do, don't encourage him. We love it. There he is with the camera.
But how cool is it that he documents this experience for the girls through pictures and videos, everything at practice, the games, makes that video, and he sends it to the parents and the players pregame.
Mia Victor leading off for New York. Rich Eaton told us, he didn't really do a ton of coaching, but he is our team photographer, and it really what got me was the world spinning at the beginning, the open of the hype video. That really spoke to me.
I actually thought at that point we were back at the 2001 World Series flashback when Puerto Rico won it. I thought that's what we were watching, honestly, and then we went to the game day thing. I'm like, nope, this is New York hype video. Got it. On it.
Or the local news in 1975. There you go.
Takes a complete team effort. Each one of these coaches and parents and volunteers makes an impact for this team and for their Little League. Going back to what we always talk about, that community feel, being a part of something bigger than yourself.
2 balls and a strike to Mia Victor.
And opportunity for these young ladies to play against players from around the world.
Yes.
Different parts of the world. To meet someone who's from Europe, from Italy, from Puerto Rico, from Canada, the Philippines. It's such a great opportunity for them to share that experience and to share their love of the sport.
The Philippines team came from 9,000 miles away to get here.
The Puerto Rico fans thought that was going to be a strikeout for Brianna Sanchez. You see Team Italy in the stands watching on.
From Milan.
Yeah, they were back at the World Series in 2019 as well when we played in Portland, Oregon. That same Little League program.
It'd be the team from the Czech Republic to get here.
And one of 4 international teams, Canada, the Philippines, Puerto Rico, and Italy. Hops into the glove of Carla Rodriguez. Jocelyn Vandenberg, center fielder. Favorite TV show, Impractical Jokers. Her special talent, guys, is spinning a basketball on one finger. I've always found that challenging.
Yeah, I just don't get how that works. But can you do it?
For how long?
Like 20 seconds?
No, not 20 seconds. Yeah. I can do it for like a second.
Oh, come on. Me too.
That's my point. It's not a talent of mine.
Jocelyn is actually a shortstop on her travel team. That was one of the things that Rich Eaton told us was kind of a challenge. The first couple of weeks with this All-Stars team, they were just figuring out who was going to play where, and everyone is playing a different position than they do on their travel ball team.
Yeah, because he has a lot of shortstops on his team, but how many people can play shortstop at one time?
One.
Just one. But shortstops are great athletes. You can move them to other positions, but they have to be willing to move.
Absolutely.
And do it for the team. We see that a lot in college, too, the college games that we call.
It's always so important for young athletes to learn multiple positions, to be a middle infielder so that you can play shortstop or second base. To be a corner, be able to play first or third. Outfield, be able to play any of the outfield positions. Just helps get yourself in that lineup.
Exactly.
Get your name penciled in. Well, we were unicorns, right? We pitched, we hit, we played other positions.
Mm-hmm.
I always remember this story. One of the girls wrote down that Jada Coleman is their favorite player, who plays center field for Oklahoma. And Patty Gasso told us Jada came in as she said, "I'm going to be your first left-handed shortstop." Yeah. And Coach Gasso was like, "What about center field?"
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't think it's going to work out.
Yeah. And now she's one of the best center fielders.
Yes. Jocelyn going underneath it, and that pops up to Kanishka Rodriguez at short. Athletes Unlimited Week 3 schedule rolls on Saturday afternoon on ESPN2. Coverage begins at 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific from the Parkway Bank Sports Complex in Rosemont, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. And it was 9 home runs yesterday.
9 home runs.
Over 2 games?
Yeah, but that was here. The wind usually blows in Rosemont, which is just by Chicago. So, and a pitcher's ballpark this summer in Rosemont with that, I don't know, 4th outfielder, the wind that they have.
You loving
that?
The
balls down? Oh, yeah. So the pitchers playing on that field for sure. Knocks the ball down.
Emerson Moore batting in the 12th spot. 2 down, trying to see if she can flip this lineup over for New York.
We saw so many, too, of the Little League softball players yesterday getting autographs from the AU professional players. Got to meet them after the game, go out in the field with them for pregame. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, their faces lighting up when they got to meet their favorite player. It was so fun to see.
My favorite moment, I think, was Jada Drake from the California team. Got to run out on the field with Odyssey Alexander and go through the line and give high fives. And Jada Drake made a incredible diving catch. She was pitching, the ball was popped up in foul territory down the first baseline. She lays out for it and catches it, and it all reminded us of Odyssey Alexander.
That was such a cool moment. Both Odyssey's moment at the World Series and Jada Drake laying out for it.
There was actually a play, though, when she was playing at AU of her laying out for a ball just like Jada Drake. And yes, of course, too, the World Series play for sure. Just being an athletic pitcher, just like Odyssey Alexander. Got to meet her and be around her. Pretty cool moment.
2-2 coming to Emerson Moore. Drop third strike. And Onairis Villafanier dives back to first base just in time. First K for Brianna.
It is the first K, and it was a tricky one, but Nieves with the arm makes the throw to first base, and her first baseman really helped her out.
Summer forever here at the Little League Softball World Series. Puerto Rico on top of New York, 2-1. And we're expecting to see a pitching change. We think Olivia Feldman has been subbed in, and her dad is standing by with Chris.
Yeah, we like to celebrate the parent and child relationships. And Ron, you were the one that put a bat and a ball in Olivia's hands at 4 years old, and you practice with her every night. Take me into what those practices are like.
Since she's little, we've been, running balls at her. She loves the game. She loves to play. So she's always had a good time playing with her friends. Coaches have always been good to her. A lot of her teammates. She loves to play.
We fill out these questionnaires they have them do, and she said, the one thing I want to acknowledge is that my dad gets up at 3 a.m. every day for work, and he's out at the field at 9 p.m. every night. What's it like to see that sacrifice, all the work, pay off here on the national stage?
Well, she's the one putting in the work. I'm just the one standing there throwing balls at the kid. She likes to work. She puts in the work. That's made her the player.
Speaking of throwing balls, what is the biggest lesson you hope you've taught her?
Duck when they come back fast.
You accidentally plunked her one time?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, just to get her used to actually having to play this game.
Good deal. I appreciate the time.
Fast.
Yeah. Congratulations. This has to be a joy to watch her play.
Oh, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys?
Yeah, her dad always gives her a pregame talk and he always says, go out there and do your best. And even if you fail, that he's always going to love her. And I think that's the best thing that you can say to a young player is no matter how you perform on the field, I'm always going to love you no matter what, as Olivia Feldman steps into the circle.
Yeah, I love the fact that her favorite softball player is Jenny Finch. We all love Jenny. Still making an impact. But Feldman does a great job. Her curveball is her best pitch. She throws in the low 50s.
She's going to come out ready, too. First pitch strike. And this is not unusual. New York likes to do this where either Alexis or Olivia will go one time through the order, and then the second time up they'll make that switch. So that's what they've done, is it's the top of the order for Puerto Rico here. Kanishka Rodriguez.
She works pretty quickly like Fontana did and throws with a little bit more velocity. They complement each other well as her dad looks on. We saw Kat Sandercock's dad in the game last night when she entered game 2 of the doubleheader. And it just never is easy for a pitcher's dad, Michelle. They are, or mom, just parent, always so nervous, sweating it out every single pitch, wanting the best for their daughters.
Starting out with a strikeout for Olivia.
A good job of getting back into this count and throwing just some high heat up in the zone, right at the letters and on the hands. And Olivia Feldman gets her first K.
Release Rodriguez now. Right back at Feldman. So quickly, 2 down. It's time to meet DeLeonis Nieves, brought to you by Dollar Car Rental. She's close family friends with Carlos Correa. If she won the lottery, she would save the money. I like that decision.
Discipline right there.
Yeah.
Leader on the team, too. Plays like it.
Visor upside down with those sunglasses in the picture.
Oh, so close. Kylie Longaro almost got there. It got really sunny. She's got the shades on.
It's a big leg pop-up, and Longaro's going a long way. You can see she just loses it at the last second because she's right there. Great effort. Long run. Just missed it.
Calling it off the other way towards the concession stand. DeLeonis Nieves told us on her questionnaire she's been working with her grandpa. They practice every day. He throws her balls for hitting. Using that practice to get to the World Series, but Olivia Feldman coming in with a bang.
Olivia Feldman. First inning out there, and she says, hey, I'm used to this. A nice pitch up in the zone. 2 strikeouts for Feldman coming in relief.
I'm hungry.
Hungry for what?
I'm hungry for some hits.
Well, New York is coming up. They have 3 hits today, but they're behind by 1 here in this winter bracket game. Both of these teams undefeated, just the second game that New York has played. Winner will play Saturday at 2 Eastern on ESPN. The loser will play an elimination game tomorrow against Connecticut. That'll be at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. We're getting set for the second time through the order for New York.
It's always more awkward to do those cheers like in a small group, and in a big group like what we saw, the hungry for hits like in the dugout. It just feels right, it's energy, but it's tough to do those cheers just, in front of the camera one-on-one.
Under the lights.
Yeah, under the lights.
Just the 2 of you.
White screen behind you.
I think they did well.
They did do well.
Yeah. Alexis Fontana walked in the first. Her favorite subject is math.
Big inning for New York with the top of the lineup coming up, down by 1 run.
Their only run coming across via a wild pitch. It scored Olivia Feldman in the first inning.
And think about how important that play is now, that they made the play home, cut down a run when actually Alexis Fontana was trying to score. Made a good throw home, a good tag. Why they still have the lead.
Meanwhile, Brianna Sanchez working well in the circle. She has retired 6 straight after 4 of the first 6 New York batters reached.
That's why it's so important for New York to try to put something together now. These are the hitters that are coming up that saw her better, took a walk, got some hits, put the ball hard in play.
Yeah, Sanchez with just the 1 strikeout, but some good defense behind her.
Let's take you, and then swing it to 3-2. All right, you go with that?
Yeah.
I think we got the tail end of it, but I'm guessing that she's going to take this pitch right here in a 3-1 count. Try to draw a walk, and she did the first at bat.
It works. 2 walks today for Alexis Fontana. Here's a look at our bracket. So the winner of this game goes straight to Saturday. The loser will play Connecticut tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. That game against Connecticut will be an elimination game. Now Olivia Feldman, she singled in the first. Since then has entered the circle to pitch. An Alabama Crimson Tide softball fan. They made it back to the World Series this year with Montana Fouts. Ball 3 coming in from Brianna Sanchez, and Gavis wants to go out and talk to her pitcher.
Yeah, she knows the importance of what's going on right now and the fact that she's struggling to find the strike zone at the moment, giving her some encouragement. She has thrown equal amount of balls as she has strikes, so 60 pitches total that Brianna Sanchez has thrown today. Important inning. Can't stress it enough with where New York is at in their lineup.
And the tying run at first. Strike 1. Ooh. Runner going. The ball goes to the outfield. Into scoring position is Alexis Fontana.
I think there's a little confusion on that Fontana. It's just a good thing that she was safe. That ball actually looked like it had short hopped in. So I think that's why she was taken off.
Thought it was ball 4?
Yeah.
I think Olivia Feldman thought it was ball 4 too, because she started walking towards first base. But now a full count.
Just 1 hit away from tying up this game.
Carla Rodriguez. Runner to third.
It's a good piece of base running by Fontana to make sure that Rodriguez is going to make that throw over to first. You can see she gets a good lead. She watches immediately and takes off on the throw over. So Rodriguez picking up the force out at first. But Fontana is going to advance to third. Opportunity here for New York to try to tie this game up.
And they love that they have Sienna Erker at the plate right now. Remember, she had a really nice hit to center. It was caught by Adilis Rosado, but made good contact.
I'm still looking for her first hit here, but you know how the game can go sometimes. You can hit the ball so hard, 3 at-bats that you have in a game and go 0 for 3, and then other times you can just get lucky and some hits fall for you, but Sienna Urker has seen the ball well, and outfield is playing her way back because of her power.
I think she's one of the tallest athletes here at 5'9". One tying run at third. A
little bit of a shift on for Puerto Rico. Rodriguez, the shortstop in the 5-6 hole. Rodriguez, the second baseman, is a little bit more up the middle.
It's a good eye. If I'm Brianna Sanchez, I know that she hasn't had the best command in this inning, but I'm not giving Sienna Urker anything too close to drive with first base open. Most power on the team.
Into the dirt for ball 4, and now it becomes the old first and third situation.
Nieves called timeout for the home plate umpire and is going to bring in the entire infield. Again, a leader for this Puerto Rico team.
Yeah, just a chance for Nieves and the infield to talk it over. Remember, where are the plays? What are we doing? First and third, one out.
Well, we've seen earlier in this tournament, in this particular situation, first and third, Puerto Rico is not afraid to throw down to try to get that runner advancing. Now, granted, that's at times with 2 outs, 1 out here, so they're going to need to be careful. Fontana could run on any throw down if it goes through to second base. It's always important for those middle infielders to decide who's going to the bag, who's going to cut, or do you throw down to third? We'll see what manager Carlos says to his team.
Ya hemos enviado saludos, ya hemos enviado un montón de cosas, ahora estamos jugando juegos duros, grandes, y estamos compitiendo. O sea, pero ahora vamos a tomar una decisión difícil. Estamos en la cuarta entrada, la del empate está en tercera, ellos tienen buenas bateadoras. Si batean, jugamos doble play rápido. Por segunda, tocan la jugadora y tira. Oye, pero los que ellos vienen es a tratar de robar base. Dili, no tires tan rápido para allá. Cuando haz lo mismo que ellos hacen. Se va para segunda, hace fake para tercera y después tiras para segunda. Y, no. Haz fake. Cuando vuelve otra vez, que ya hace fake para tercera, entonces tiramos a segunda y tú le das out. Y luego de eso, ella va a hacer fake para tercera. Y después del fake para tercera, tira a segunda. El catcher va a hacer fake para tercera y tira a segunda. Y tú le das el out. Y después viene el pajón. Vamos.
Tying run at third, go-ahead run at first for Abby Long. There goes the runner. Nieves is going to fake the throw and try to bait that runner from third.
Yeah, it looked like with the way that Nieves reacted, she was going to fake the throw to second and then actually try to pick off at third. But there was nobody covering, so she couldn't make that throw. But with the way that she just looked disappointed when she went to throw to third, that's what it kind of tells me.
That one hit to Carla Rodriguez. She's trying to go home. Nieves back to Rodriguez, who's just going to go after the runner and make the tag. Saves the run from scoring. Kanishka Rodriguez running all over the infield.
That is the second time in this game that Alexis Fontana has tried to score, but Puerto Rico has denied her and New York. Got in a pickle in the worst spot to have it in, but it was well played for the out. Important second out of this inning.
Yeah, and Urker did not advance from second over to third. So a little bit of a mishaps for New York, not getting both their runners into scoring position is so important. If a runner in front of you gets in a rundown to advance to the next bag, keep your foot off, and you can step on once they are out.
So they're going to use a courtesy runner here for the catcher because there is 2 outs. You can do that for the catcher or the pitcher with 2 outs. So Alexis Fontana is the last out that wasn't the pitcher, Olivia Feldman. So she will come out and run for Sienna Erker.
And maybe she'll try to score again. I mean, maybe 3rd time's a charm for Alexis Fontana out of the base pass.
We shall see. Kylie Longaro, tying run at second. 2 outs. Takes the first pitch to center. Rosado charging. And New York, another opportunity. They couldn't bring those runners home. Great defense from Team Puerto Rico. Let's take a look at our game track. It's brought to you by Geico. And the scoring, well, it started right there in the first inning. An RBI single from Dielise Figueroa to help put Puerto Rico up by 1, and then Carla Rodriguez following her up. And New York's had chances, but haven't been able to bring around those runners.
Yeah, they have had multiple chances, but the team that has scored first at the World Series has just really grabbed all the momentum early. And for Puerto Rico, that first inning, leadoff double by Rodriguez, and then a couple more hits that drove in runs by Figueroa and another Rodriguez, and that's why they have the lead. And good defense shutting down Alexis Fontana.
Teams that score first in the World Series, 13-2 this year.
Yeah, Puerto Rico defending it. A couple of those plays, as you mentioned, Amanda, at home. But, Sanchez has done a very good job of making sure that New York is not hitting the ball, right? Getting the ball into the green. She hasn't given up a hit since the 2nd inning, and so now it gives her offense an opportunity to try to put more runs up on the board.
They're calling that foul. This is Dielise Figueroa that had the RBI single, put the first run on the board for Puerto Rico in the first inning. Pop up. Center coming in. Jocelyn Vandenberg. Just a highlight reel.
Yes. Jocelyn Vandenberg has been strong this entire Little League tournament at regionals here at the Little League World Series. She has the ability to get underneath the ball. A very good first step, not afraid to go to her knees, not afraid to lay out and dive. Nice catch coming in on a ball that looked like it was going to drop.
It did look like it was going to drop. And another one of those defenders who's normally a shortstop that had to move to the outfield.
Look, Jocelyn had a play earlier in the week that was number 9 the next day on SportsCenter Top 10.
Yep.
She had a catch in the outfield.
She just comes up and is the Superman woman.
Yep.
Showing the S on her chest.
That is her thing. That is what she did. She threw out a girl at the plate, or threw a girl out at the plate in the state championship game, too. So that's a good defensive plays this summer.
Here's Carla Rodriguez. Olivia Feldman makes it 2-2. Feldman took over pitching duties in the 4th from Alexis Fontana. And Rodriguez will walk. Everyone's favorite time now, Chris, the joke of the day.
Yes, this one comes courtesy of Emerson Moore. Why is the Ferris wheel good at networking?
Something about...
Because it always comes back around. We asked these ladies on all their questionnaires to give a joke, and they're getting much better throughout the years.
They definitely are. Onairis Villafane Scooped by Mia Victor, 2 down. And it's one of my favorite lines in the questionnaire, which I did not read this year so that the jokes wouldn't be spoiled.
Love this play by Mia Victor. Another high fly ball that easily could have landed. She could have been nervous about Emerson Moore, the right fielder, running into her, but she stuck with it. She knew that New York needed to make a play right there with the runner on for that second out.
Yeah. Drop step, going back over the shoulder. Those
nice.
are tough catches.
Yes.
Yeah, really good athletic ability. Love to see that.
Gianelli Santana, there goes Figueroa. Runner safe.
Good throw down by Urker. Fontana coming across.
I thought the tag got there first.
Yeah.
And
the ball's definitely there first.
New York
Yeah,
is going
like
to challenge this. Yeah. Right there.
Yep.
Yep.
Jocelyn Vandenberg, too, was right there, the center fielder, thinking, oh, yeah, we got her. And I think this is going to be overturned. What a throw by Sienna Urker. Yep.
Oh, she looks out.
Yeah.
We talked about our catchers at the beginning of this game and how good of arms that they have back behind the plate. That throw is exactly where it needed to be. Good tag by Fontana to go straight down. I think this one should get overturned.
Well, Puerto Rico was just singing happy birthday, and now the New York team is talking to them in the dugout.
And Cassie Van Skyler kind of looking over to the dugout, communicating with them, and the whole New York team looked like they were looking that way, trying to figure out what's going on.
So they do throw out Sienna Urker with the toss to catch the runner. Going to the bottom of the fifth when we come back. The Little League Softball World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And in part by Geico. See how easy it is to bundle all your insurance needs. Well, earlier today, Texas, the defending World Series champs, they got to stick another Southwest sticker on our bracket. They have advanced to Saturday's semifinals. We don't know who they'll play yet. We're going to see both North Carolina teams battle tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. That'll be at 4 Eastern on ESPN2. Courtney Lyle, Amanda Scarborough, Michelle Smith, and of course Chris Budden with you. We'll be with you all the way through our championship game on Sunday at 3 Eastern on ABC.
That North Carolina game tomorrow should be a packed house. North Carolina versus North Carolina, and Texas actually beat both of those teams. So whoever wins, I'm sure, wants another chance at Texas to beat them after knocking them to the elimination bracket.
And look, if you're in the Greenville, North Carolina area, PSA, get here early. Bring your own chair.
That's right. Lots of good spots to watch the game.
Yes.
Up on the berm, in the stands.
I think Amanda would be over there on the bench with that golden retriever. Emma Brown getting it past the shortstop. Hard hit ball.
Second hit of the game for Emma Brown, getting it done. She had a leadoff hit in the second. How about here a leadoff in the bottom of the fifth? This is a big one. She's going to mash this ball right at Rodriguez. It's going to get through. This is just well struck. Full extension, and that's why that ball just exploded off her bat, Amanda.
Yeah, New York has gotten their leadoff hitter on in 4 of the 5 innings and has only scored 1 run. That was back in the first inning. Put themselves in a position to, but can't quite get a run across.
Yeah, and that 1-run scoring was on a wild pitch. That one hops in. Nieves having to hustle, and it allows Emma Brown to move into scoring position. She'll advance on the wild pitch. Cassie Van Skyler now. That one gets away again. And Emma Brown stayed at second.
And that's where it's important as a base runner. You have to look at your coaches or listen for your coaches, even if you don't know where the ball's at. I think she was saying I couldn't see where the ball was at. That's a big break for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that would have put the tying run at third. Right now it's at second.
Well, and I will say, too, this backstop has a really bouncy give to it, to where when balls come back, they come back to the catcher really quickly, too. And I think they just have a lot of respect for the arm of Nieves back behind the plate, just not wanting to take any chances. Like, if it goes anywhere near Nieves, you just don't want to get thrown out by her because of how good of an arm that she has.
Yeah, she has proven you better think twice about any risky steal.
A really big presence back behind the plate.
Sanchez starting to struggle around the zone a little bit. You can see her looking into the dugout.
Three balls and a strike to Van Skyler. Bunt. Brianna Sanchez. The throw pulls Villafane off the bag.
Good execution by Cassie Van Skyler to put that bunt down. Squared early, made sure she got it down, and then Sanchez, her throw pulls Villafane off of first base, and it just gets behind her. That'll go down as an error. And now New York has runners at the corners with nobody out.
And out comes Carlos Leon Sugrañez.
Good if you would have went on the wild pitch before, right? So you already messed up. What's the big deal if we mess up again? Hey, what's up? Hey, great job. What? No, I'm going to take care of you. We're not going on this pitch. We're going to figure it out later, okay? We're going to tie the game first. My thing is, can you bunt it to first base? Right?
Ian, why do you look like you're going to cry?
Don't keep screaming at me.
Somebody's joke. Don't put that on ESPN. He'll love it. Oh, he said my name. Hey, what do you want to do? You want to get up there and hit this girl? Hit the ground ball? What, you got a ground ball in you?
You got this, Eden. I believe you got this, girl.
What do you feel more comfortable? Getting the bunt down to first and hitting the ground ball?
Whatever.
Let's put the first one down. Only strike. Bunt towards first, okay?
Little pep talk for Eden Tesserere. Sanchez passing it to Eden Tesserere, and she loved it. Look at Eden flipping the switch, swinging the bat, stepping up when her team needed her to tie it.
Tesserere taking a pitch on the outer half, but she's aggressive. First pitch swinging, knowing that Sanchez is probably going to want to try to get ahead. Drives that ball right through the infield, ties up this game. Wow.
You love to see it. A quick pep talk worked for Eden.
And Emma Brown, look at that excitement from her, too. I haven't seen a lot of that, but getting to score the game-tying run.
That's Eden's first hit at the World Series. And it ties up this game. Ava Rios now with 2 on. The go-ahead run at second. Foul ball.
If you remember, too, they played a really close game in a state championship game. They won 2-1. And Emma Brown was the one that led off the inning with a triple and then scored on a throwing error in that game. So Emma Brown, a big spark for this offense for New York, doing it again. And
playmaker.
Yeah, started this inning with the single, advanced to second on the wild pitch, and then to third on the error. And then scoring off the bat of Eden Tesserere.
That was the moment that manager Eaton talked about how he just remembers the parents going absolutely insane. One of his favorite memories from the summer and coaching Little League was that moment when they tied it up.
1-2 to Rios. Pops up, both runners move.
She doesn't know where the ball is.
Still doesn't know where the ball is. New York trying to go ahead. Safe. New York takes the lead.
Wow, and this is where communication is so important. Neves was not sure where the ball was, and none of her teammates were coming in to try and tell her it's back behind you. You can see this ball's going to get through, get away from her. It hits the umpire, and she's not quite sure where it is. This is where you've got to really be communicating. And how about New York being just smart? Van Skyler is going to see that Puerto Rico not able to identify the ball and is going to come home to take the lead.
The tables have turned. Did that hit her?
It looked like it came really close to hitting her. Oh, just bounced just over her foot.
It's over that back foot, yeah.
The dirt from the bounce hit her, but not the ball.
Rios will walk to put him on first and third. New York finally breaking through in this inning. And I think Puerto Rico is going to make a pitching change. They will. Brianna Sanchez will come out of the circle. New York has taken the lead here in the bottom of the fifth. You're watching the Little League Softball World Series on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. New York is here. They have taken the lead here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Puerto Rico had led since the first. And now with runners on the corners, Carla Rodriguez will step into the circle to relieve Brianna Sanchez.
Rodriguez throws in the low 50s. Has a knuckle changeup that we might see. A good changeup that she throws and puts down a knuckle.
So it's Eden Tesserere who had the RBI single to tie it up. She is at third. And Ava Rios at first via the walk for Mia Victor. The bunt. Bringing home another run. Great execution by Mia.
Outstanding execution. Mia Victor knows what she needs to do. She knows her job is to put that bunt down with her teammate at third. And she's going to get it down to the right side, and that's the key. No opportunity for Rodriguez to even come home. They get the out at first for Puerto Rico, but another big run-up on the board for New York.
Jocelyn Vandenberg. Nieves is having to hustle to find that softball. It's been a problem for Puerto Rico as that puts a runner on third.
Good base running by Rios. She sees that down and able to get herself to third base. Look at how New York is being aggressive within this inning, called that squeeze play. Another trying to put it down to do a little safety squeeze, or maybe that was a squeeze where she got the lead, noticed that it wasn't put down, dives back to third base. Really aggressive, showing off the speed that they have in this inning.
Two balls and a strike to Jocelyn Vandenberg. This New York team has seen everyone in the lineup step up. It was the bottom of the lineup, including Ina Tesserere, who had an RBI single here to tie it, that helped them win state.
That was probably the biggest swing of the game was Tesserere. The timeout was called, first pitch, and then as she saw her first pitch of her at bat.
And a strikeout for Carla Rodriguez, her first.
Rodriguez able to get an out here. Goes up in the zone. It gets Vandenberg to stretch her zone.
Two out. Runner on third for Emerson Moore. And that's going to allow the run to score as Nieves, her throw to third. Nobody there to grab it off target. More insurance for this New York team.
It's going to be Ava Rios who is able to score, and Nieves just trying to do a little too much in this inning.
Emerson Moore hit by the pitch. And things unraveling here for Puerto Rico as we go back to the top of the order for the third time with Alexis Fontana. Four runs on 2 hits for New York in this inning. 2 scored on wild pitches, 1 on an error.
A couple errors in the inning for Puerto Rico. And this is what New York did very well against Connecticut in game 1 here at the World Series. 7 errors by Connecticut. They took advantage. They only had 3 hits, but the key is they scored the runs they needed to win. Take a look at that there. Just a couple of the hits, but taking advantage of the errors.
Emerson Moore trying to bait Nieves to make another throw. You can see she's getting a big lead, kind of trying to play a little game with her on the base pass.
There goes Emerson Moore. And the ball pops out of Kanishka Rodriguez's glove. So Emerson is good to go at second.
Stolen base.
Every run that you can get in this inning, an insurance run headed to the 6th inning where Puerto Rico will just be 3 outs away from potentially losing this game.
Not an elimination game, though. Important to note, the loser will play tomorrow. The winner plays Saturday. We already saw Texas advance to Saturday earlier today. That set up our first game tomorrow, which will be North Carolina versus North Carolina. The rivalry. They have not played each other this season. Did not meet up in the state tournament. 2-2 in the dirt. Full count.
Well, and we started with 12 teams. I mean, we didn't know for sure that we were to see these 2 North Carolina teams play each other, but I have a feeling they want to play each other.
Well, they told us.
Yeah.
The Pitt County team, the Southeast team, told us they want nothing more than to play Rowan, the host.
That's right. Bragging rights.
2 strikeouts for Carla Rodriguez. But look at New York.
Able to take the lead. They finally answer in the bottom of the 5th inning. They put up a 4-spot, aggressive base running, and taking advantage of some Puerto Rico miscues.
Let's put the first one down. Only strike. Bunt towards first, okay?
Eden said, maybe I won't bunt towards first. Maybe I'll just hit it. But it was a huge play.
Mashed it right back up the middle. Gotta love it. And then taking advantage of some Puerto Rico miscues.
And New York was able to tie the game and then take the lead for the first time in the bottom of that last inning. It all started with that at-bat from Eden Tesserere. Well, it started with Emma Brown leading off the inning, but the key hit, Eden Tesserere with the RBI single to tie it.
Yeah, aggressive early in the count. And at first she was like, you guys are always in that huddle. She was like, you guys are yelling at me. And then it seemed a little bit tight, and then went up to the into the box and swung at the first pitch and got the RBI that tied it. A huge swing by Eden in that AB.
And that's huge because the winner of this game plays on Saturday. They get tomorrow off. Again, the loser of this game is not out. It's double elimination, so still opportunity to play tomorrow. But you win this game, definitely doing yourself a favor.
Cruising on to Saturday semifinals.
They're asking right now for that rosin bag, that is Puerto Rico's rosin bag, to be brought back into the dugout. We have seen, though, earlier in the World Series that there were 2 rosin bags, Courtney, in the circle at one time. So, no way.
It was very hot. Definitely needed. Gianelli Santana and Abigail Long is there at first. Well, the excitement of the World Series can be downloaded in a new Little League World Series app. Fans can view schedules, watch highlights, and plan their experience using the official LLWS app. Download today for Apple and Android devices.
Feldman has done such a good job of coming into this game. She came in the top of the 4th inning, and I really feel like, I don't know, the energies just started to take a little turn when she stepped into the circle. And that really doesn't have anything to do with Alexis Fontana. She did a great job in her start, but when Olivia Feldman came in, brought a different energy.
Yeah, and she works quick. She's hammering that low outside pitch to the lefties.
A lot of strikes.
Give a view from our ump cam here on this pitch. And it's the strikeout pitch, the strikeout number 3 pitch for Olivia Feldman.
Well, she goes back to that outside part of the plate. Man, you can just see the movement. Really good job. Urker giving a nice frame. 3rd strikeout for Feldman.
Puerto Rico down to its final strike. Brianna Sanchez started the day in the pitching circle. Hit up over the head of Mia Victor into the grass, and Brianna Sanchez starting the rally.
It's a pitcher who started this game. You know that she wanted to go up and find a way to get on for her team after giving up some of those runs.
Now the number 10 hitter, Yadilis Rosado. Favorite song, a little Madonna, Material Girl?
Yeah, I noticed that the other day. My mom made me listen to Madonna's greatest hits over and over and over again when I was young.
So you didn't love it?
Oh, I didn't love it then.
Yeah.
It's grown on. I kind of love it now, yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Boss up, Daddy hand. Hi, guys. All right, listen. This matter's important, right? Let's just talk strikes. I'm only how to either slow down, calm down, and talk to you. That's it, right? Got it? Let's go.
I held onto the ball and I crossed my body.
Right now, it doesn't matter if it's a home run or a fence. We're still winning. 3 strikes right down the middle here, right? No, I'm serious. 3 strikes right down the middle. I'm not kidding. All right, keep 1-3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Biggest thing that he probably wants Olivia to do is just challenge these hitters. You're up by 3 runs. You got a quick 2 outs. If they just let them put the ball in play, similar to the way that Sanchez did, had that lead off or had that first pitch hit. That's okay. Just throw strikes and let your defense work.
2 balls to Rosado. There's strike 1. Got her inside. There's Olivia's mom watching. Got her to chase upstairs. Puerto Rico down to its final strike.
I'm watching mom right now. She just looks so nervous.
It's so hard to be parents and pitchers.
Olivia Feldman ends it with a K. 4 strikeouts today. And this New York team is going to Saturday.
Olivia Feldman just so strong in relief. Starts the game at shortstop, comes in, throws the last 3 innings, gives up just 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, painting the corner. challenging Rosado underneath her hand. She's up tight on the plate, and you can just see Feldman, the big high five to Urker, her battery mate. Outstanding effort by New York.
Well, and Olivia Feldman is one of the youngest players on the team. She did not play like it today at all.
No, one of the youngest players and one of the biggest moments. New York on to the semifinals on Saturday. We will see Puerto Rico again tomorrow. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk to the winning team when we come back. We got a comeback victory here in Greenville, North Carolina. New York trailed after the first inning, but a big RBI single by Eden Tesserere tied the game in the fifth, and Eden is standing by with Chris.
Yeah, Eden, you drove in the tying run, but before you get up there, your coach calls a timeout. What did he tell you during that?
He wanted me to bunt it down the third, and he asked me if I wanted to bunt it or not, and I said I didn't feel comfortable bunting it. And then I hit it.
There you go. What were the nerves like at the plate at that moment?
It was crazy. I felt like excited to be up there, but sad that I thought I was going to bunt at first. And then it was just crazy that everything happened like that.
What did you see in that pitch that you were comfortable taking a hack at it?
It was just in my comfort zone, and it just looked great. So it just...
Your whole family's here. They're all cheering as you're on ESPN. What's this kind of moment been like with your teammates and your family?
It's crazy. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just, I didn't think this would be happening, but it is. And I love my teammates. They help me out with everything. I was so sad that I was going to bunt, and my teammates were picking me up the whole time. They're like, no matter what you do, you're going to do something good. You just got to do your job, and I did what I needed to do.
Well, you didn't bunt. You drove in the game tying run, and they're all out in the outfield. Go join them and celebrate. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks,
hey,
Eden.
way to go, Eden. Yeah, I didn't really want to bunt, so I'm just going to hit it and tie the game. No worries, Coach. How about New York's comeback? It's so important. So this New York team, kind of strange how the bracket lays out. They go 2-0 and go immediately to Saturday's semifinal.
And New York, you can tell, is a team that believes in each other, and they pick each other up and came out with a win here.
Yeah, just a great effort all the way around, and to come back, right? We've seen the team that scores first in this Little League World Series has gone on to win a lot of games, but New York doing a great job of making sure they could come back to win this game.
Yeah, not happening in this one today, Michelle, right? That's what New York said. So we'll see them on Saturday. We'll see Puerto Rico tomorrow. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 4 for the North Carolina battle. But for now, let's get you to Doug Sherman and Devin Travis.